A typical Irish household's green bin is emptied about 26 times a year and brought to a recycling centre. First stage of recycling, when the waste arrives on site, is to measure the weight of the waste to record EU and national statistics. The recyclable waste is dropped onto an open floor and pushed onto a conveyor belt, where it is pulled into the mechanical operation of recycling. The conveyor belt vibrates to shake out any debris and dirt. This unwanted debris is transferred to a general waste zone, where it will await further decomposition. The first human contact of this process is to eliminate any obvious non-recyclable materials. The Irish government issued a chart identifying all domestic recyclables which can be donated to a recycling centre. The first material to be isolated is cardboard, which is carried along a corrugated screen. The screen carries the big cardboard pieces into a baler, where it is crushed and ready for export. The material that fell through the screen is inspected again and proceeds into the paper sorting line. This stage features a double-deck machine that separates containers from paper. The flat paper climbs to the top of the machine onto a conveyor belt, while the bulky containers fall below onto another belt. On the top deck, the flat paper leads to another inspection zone, where it is approved for baling and export. On the lower deck, the material is pushed through an air system that blows out any missed paper, thus leaving only containers left in the process. The containers are inspected and aluminium containers are immediately identified by a magnetic conveyor belt. These aluminium materials are stored awaiting the baling process so they can be exported. Light and heavy containers are separated by an air classifier, which shoots air, lifting lighter containers onto a separate belt, while the heavier ones, like glass, remain. The glass containers are crushed and washed in a series of baths to remove labelling. They are then dried and ready for colour identification. The glass particles proceed through a high-tech laser machine, which identifies the colour of glass through a series of lasers. At the end of this process, the glass is shattered into granulated pieces, which can be remelted into new glass. Back at the light containers, they are fed through optical lasers, which identify the type of plastics by how much light each plastic reflects. Each individual plastic type is stored in a specific container ready to be baled and exported. The final stage of the recycling process is the storage area, where all the recycled bales are stored and ready for final exportation. And that concludes a recycling centre.